Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here, well, at Tuesday Night Encounters, continuing with the Champions Cup matches. Now, I have some changes after the results of the previous two matches. If Richard eliminates Brady here, then Richard clinches a spot on Wednesday Night Ignition, no matter what. If Brady beats Richard here, there will be a four-person semifinal match. Well, not really semifinal match, two semifinal matches that we will see shortly after some other action here on Tuesday Night Encounters. However, if Richard does beat Brady and eliminate Brady, then we will have one semifinal match, and that will be Boston versus Reidner. The winner of that match will move on to face Richard Wednesday night at Ignition. Of course, Richard with 0 losses, he would have to be beaten twice tomorrow if he does enter Ignition undefeated. Brady in the ring here, and honestly, I think Brady was a few people's penciled-in favorites to win this entire thing. But I can tell you this much, Richard is definitely nobody's favorite when we started this entire tournament. And now here he is, he's the last undefeated guy, he's entering the ring, and he's got the most momentum. The guy actually defeated Boston, the person we just saw completely destroy Bjorn Ironsides. Richard got a win against him, a shocking win, on Wednesday Night Ignition last Wednesday. This is a tremendous matchup. We've seen matchups like this happen before. Richard and Brady have tangled more than a few times. Usually a title's involved. Well, that's no different tonight as the Champions Cup is on the line and a shot at Brandon Reidner's world title. Let's get things going here. Brady versus Richard. Brady backside suplex starting things off. Richard has the most to lose here. If Richard wins this match, he's got a major advantage. He's got to be beaten twice by the same person in the same night, and that's going to be very hard to do going into Ignition. If Richard loses tonight, he's going to have to go into the semifinals, and if he loses twice in one night, suddenly all of that momentum is completely dissipated. And you see Brady starting things off big, huge body splash there, right in that northwest turnbuckle, which has been seeing a lot of action tonight. And of course, Brady wearing pants from one of our top sponsors, Cargo Pants Direct. Cargo Pants Direct, of course, bringing you tonight's action from the Fisher Fieldhouse on the Ohio State campus. Cargo Pants Direct, when you need to hold a lot of shit in your pants, go to Cargo Pants Direct. Richard, picking him up into the fireman carry position, into a TKO. Brady no stranger to the flapjack with this rivalry he's got going on with Sentinel. Richard tying him up in the center of the ring in an arm wrench. And once again into that corner. And now Brady's going to take a not fun field trip to the northwest as he goes shoulder first into the ring post. Of course, longtime fans of the MMWF will recognize the ring area here. Of course, busting out the old Thursday Night Magic colors for tonight's Tuesday Night Encounters. The second occurrence of which, the first in 2011, on the eve of Edge of Midnight. Richard again a TKO, drops Brady in the corner. Brady has had some real trouble here, and Richard has looked very good all over this tournament. Richard getting a win here would save him a lot of trouble, that is for certain. Brady wants to stay alive. He wants a shot at another world title. Of course, he started the latest iteration of the MMWF in a very good spot, winning the world title from Vane the Warbringer at Strike Resolution. Brady, the power of Brady, a nice move there, putting Richard flat on his back. Now flipping him onto his back yet again. Brady's starting to get fancy against Richard here, and you can't blame him for that. He's changing things up. Now a nice wrestling takedown. Richard is, he's a grizzly bear. If you go in against him just straight up, he's going to take you out. But Brady changing things up, and that is key. But he gave Richard too much time in the corner to catch his breath. Oh, or did he? That belly to belly right into the turnbuckle padding. Richard getting a nice 4-hit combo there and taking Brady off of his feet. Inverted T-bone suplex from Brady. How about that? Like I said, Brady knows how to get fancy and change up his move set when he needs to. Elbow to the back of the head, and Richard is really taking a lot of punishment here. From punished Brady. Well, I guess would know how to dole it out. Brady takes a seat. Now Richard pressing his knee into Brady's face. Dropping the elbow on him. Richard has been trying to make a name for himself yet again after a very unsuccessful tag team run with Sonic and Knuckles. Brady doing the same thing. Inferno Rising fell apart, and he ended up with a big rivalry with his former friend Sentinel. These two are both looking for a singles run, and they could get it with a world championship. That is for certain. Neat hip toss by Brady puts Richard back on the mat. Oh, what a rolling neckbreaker from Richard. Brady is in position for the leg day, and we have seen that leg day win matches several times in this Champions Cup. Brady with a series of elbow drops, signaling for the big one. Right on the dam on Richard's t-shirt. And a super kick connects. Richard is now down in a big way. He's got major problems. Brady, oh, but the kick is blocked. Gotta feel like Richard's starting to get dead to rights here. He's gotta come back, and that's what's gonna take. A big leg lariat. Stare down the center of the ring. Both Richard and Brady trying to figure out what to do next. Brady decides to go for the belly to belly. And another trio of elbow drops. Richard now dazed. Starting to run into problems here against Brady for really the first time in this cup. Brady gets kicked off Richard. Now they tie up again. Big knife edge chop, and down goes Richard. These two are really tangling up, and Richard with a big DDT plants Brady right on his bandana, and now going for the first pin of the match. One. Brady now has Richard behind him, dragged across the ropes. These are two very tough competitors. It's going to be hard to say who will come out on top just from what we've seen thus far. Again with that trio of elbow drops, and Richard now getting back up, but he is still dazed. Brady's super kick got caught. Richard with the bridge pin. One. Nice move from Richard, reversing that super kick into a pin. Brady, however, just too tough to let Richard hold the bridge there. Rolling neckbreaker. Brady is down in the center of the ring. Brady now getting angry. Looking for something big. Looking to keep Richard from entering Ignition tomorrow completely undefeated. And needing to be beaten twice to lose the cup. Richard with the pin. Overhand punch by Brady. Step over DDT. Richard goes down. Big kitchen sink from Richard. And now a surfboard stretch locked in. Does Brady tap out for the surfboard stretch? No, he does not. Ref has to get out of the way, and that allows Brady to capitalize with a... Ooh, does not hit the drop kick. Richard with the punish. Sling blade. Brady's own move. Richard down. Richard's got down. 1, 2. Wait a minute, was that a zigzag? I think Richard just stole Brady's zigzag, and that would be tremendous, as now he locks in an abdominal stretch. One of the most OP submission moves in the entire MWF. The abdominal stretch is locked in. Brady does not tap out. Richard behind Brady. Russian leg sweep. And this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. He's setting up for the leg day. Brady is down. He's already taken a lot of damage. Richard with the pin. 1, 2, 3. Richard wins. He gets the rest of Tuesday Night Encounters off. He just booked his ticket to the finals at Wednesday Night Ignition and is now possibly just one pinfall away from a shot at Brandon Reidner's World Championship. Spectacular match. Richard coming out on top. Brady, unfortunately, eliminated. So we are going to see Brandon Reidner versus Boston tonight. The winner of that match will face Richard Wednesday night on Ignition. But that is it for the first 3 Champions Cup matches of the night. We've got some extra content for you coming up later. Stay tuned to the MMWF Network.